Evening. How's it going? Morning, Tim. Morning, Sam. Evening, Sam. Jeez, I forget it's evening over here. Less than a month till my Canes are back in action. Not the accounting. Yeah, man, it's not too long. It's gonna be a weird one having no fans in the stadium, but nobody is complaining. How are you guys going? It's kind of slightly brisk here at the minute, but not too bad. Can't really complain. Hey, Grant. I think you'll enjoy this game, Grant. I don't know if you've seen it before. It's from a wee way back. Chris. I'm glad you're here, mate. I'm glad you're here because my biltong is here as well. Darmundi, hey. Be long in about 10 minutes fixing your breakfast. All right, good, man. I'll save the biltong for then. Morning, Heinrich. Got your Castle Lager? I do. I've got Castle Lager over here. I got biltong over here. I'm in almost full South African mode, apart from the fact that I'm wearing a Blues jersey. Haven't been on in a while. No worries, man. Good to see you here. Zip Kiwi, greetings from Melbourne. How's it going, mate? Nathan, keen for this. Good, man. Good. Big wheels here. I'm still looking for that Great Northern. I haven't found any yet, but I'll keep looking, man. I've got the Castle for tonight. Wesley, enjoy the biltong. Yeah, I've got two types of biltong here, so I've not yet tried them. I've resisted the temptation. I'll give them a try tonight. Lekker biltong, missing new rugby like crazy. Yeah, man, it's not going to be too long, though. We'll have some New Zealand rugby on the cards soon enough, hopefully. Greetings, Slow-Mo, Rugby Opinion, how's it going? Also missing Super Brew. Right before I started the stream, I realized I forgot to sign up for that virtual Super Brew rugby thing. Yeah, that's going on. Heinrich says, you look like a Cape Crusader, all them South African niceness and New Zealand kit. Yeah, I know. Western Province, Stormers, Bulls. And then in the background over there is Ireland, Brumbies, a couple of other Irish ones. It's 10 a.m. I haven't been asleep yet. Still excited. 10 a.m. and you haven't slept. I used to do that every now and again. I would do a power, because I used to have a job at a supermarket when I was a uni student, stocking shelves, and the shift finished at 3 a.m. Sometimes I would just power through and not sleep, go to sleep the next day. So finish work 3 a.m., stay up, and then go to bed like, I don't know, 8, 9 o'clock that night. It was tough. If you found yourself sitting there without moving around, you would start to nod off. Rugby, beer, and biltong, you're already 75% South African. That's why I went the Blues jersey today, man. I figured if I'm watching a Springboks All Blacks game with biltong, Castle Lager, and a Springboks jersey, I may as well just hand over my passport. Oh, hold on a sec. I'll just get that. Yeah, I think that was the immigration minister telling me if I was wearing a Springboks jersey, my passport was going to be gone. Chicken Wings, hey, any idea when rugby will be back? I think it's 13 June, bro. 13 June. When am I coming to South Africa? Once the travel restrictions ease up and I save some money. 2 cents, beer, and biltong. I know, man. I need to make a channel just for beer and biltong. It's the FBI. That was immigration calling, asking to see the visa. I know, right? I've not had a haircut in over 2 months. I look like a porn star. I could be worse. You could look like worse things. But, I mean, I've always pretty much since getting married, I've cut my own hair anyway. I've just been a bit gamer to cut it a bit shorter. I mean, once you get married, man, you can let the hair situation kind of go. Which international team currently has the best defense? I would have said Wales last year, but I don't think so anymore. Joys of live streaming from home. Usually I remember to unplug the phone because it's in the same room I do my videos, but I forgot this time. Show us the hair, bro. It's growing out, man. Got a bit of hat hair going on, but I had this side and back down to a number 1 earlier, and it looked on camera like I was a skinhead. Yeah. All right, I think we need to get the game started. It's already 9:01. Link is in the description if you're watching along. And then I will crack open a Castle. Is Castle twist top or bottle opener? I'll have to have a look in a tick. I just don't want to rip my hand to shreds trying to open one with my hand if it's a bottle opener jobby. Yeah, link is in the description. Let's get things underway. Right. New Zealand, South Africa, 2008 Tri-Nations from Dunedin. Game 2, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Dan Carter kickoff. They skipped the anthems and skipped the haka straight to kickoff. Ginger, bro. That's the camera. That's brown. That's brown. That ain't ginger. Not that I got anything against gingers. 6-pack of Steinies. Been a while since you've had Steiny. Well, I've never ever tried this. So this will be an interesting one. How do you cut the back of your hair? I just clip it out, and I tend to put my hand on my back to be a little guard on the little fiddly bits at the side. Occasionally I make a mistake, to be honest. Get your kids to cut my hair. Sometimes the missus does help out. I will be honest. Bottle opener. Guess the only way to enjoy South African beers these days in New Zealand because we're not allowed to. Oh, I feel kind of brutal doing this, but I'm still going to do it. Yep, that's a bottle opener jobby, not a twist top. Oh, no, it is a twist top. Just wasn't twisting hard enough. All right, cheers, everybody. Castle, first time ever. It's all right. I'm no beer connoisseur, but that tastes all right. Man, instead of any Sipivatu, haven't seen him for quite a while. Oh, come on, Ireland. I'll have to get another live stream going with Ireland, but I did them in the last game, so take a break. I heard the All Blacks could play in October. There are rumors about it, mate. I guess we will wait and see what situation kind of happens with Australia because they're the most likely ones for us to play. This game, Big Will remembers. This game is a bit of a cracker, I believe. It's a wig. Are you actually bald? My dad is bald. I am not yet bald. And my older brother, he's not bald. So, I mean, if I go bald, I'm just going to shave it all off anyway. I've already decided. That's a normal Castle Lager. It's been many moons since I've seen one of those. I will drink some more. I only got a 6-pack, and only 3 of them have been in the fridge. So nothing too drastic tonight. Oh, man, the ref has blown his whistle a few times already. I promise that's my first beer of the night. Hey, James, Danny, AB's won in New Zealand for over 2,000 days. That's a good stat. We're a pretty good team in New Zealand. Cheers, Chris. You can send beer from Australia to New Zealand. Is that right? Because a couple of guys have tried to send me beer and none of it's arrived. I figure customs take it, but they never sent me any notifications. I know it's 10 a.m. here in the Northern Hemisphere. I might have to join you with those beers. Do it, man. 10 a.m. The sun is up. So it's like as soon as you're in double digits, right? If it's 9 a.m., it's a bit dodgy. But if it's 10 a.m., it's not too bad. Brunch, beer. I was 15 years old when this match was played. This game is flipping quick. You are not wrong, man. These guys are not mucking around. They get a penalty. High shot from Berger. Look at the hair on him there. Oh, Bucky's in the background. Anyway, it's 2008. Good times. We need more of my dad. Yeah, I've told him he needs to get back on to reply to some of the comments. So, how's the beer? It's all right, man. I'd buy it again. But like I said, like I can't analyze it because I got no idea about beers. I just drink them. You should try to get him on a live show. He has been he was in the room for a couple of the World Cup games, but he didn't really appear on camera. Just a bleached Hulk. Nice. Sexton looks okay in Rugby 20. They've got him rated lower than Ross Byrne, which is weird. He's the cover guy. I would have thought 3-0 to New Zealand, by the way. Early penalty after that high tackle. Yeah, I would have thought if you're on the cover of the game, you'd be one of the highest rated players, but apparently not. Evening. Oh, Laurent, glad you're here, man, because I couldn't find any of that Pinotage from Babbage. I need a second suggestion. I'm happy to try a Pinotage, but I wasn't sure what I'd be buying. So I thought I'd wait to see if you're here. Castle's not bad. It's all right. They tend to get lost, so they're not worth sending. Yeah, like I said, I've had one guy try to send me beer from Wales. It never arrived. One guy tried to send me beer from Argentina, and it never arrived. I'm just assuming either it got sent back or customs took it, but I would have thought they would at least give me because my name's on the package, like a letter to say we seized stuff at the border or whatever, but nah, not a word. Not a word. Oh, loose pass. Plus, it's the weekend. It's fine to go drinking. Exactly right, man. It is Saturday. Oh, what's a run? Who was that? Man, I don't know what the weather's like, but there's been a lot of loose play in this game and a lot of the ref blowing his whistle. Good Lord, I swear it's my first beer. And every time someone gets a free kick, they just tap straight away. Boys at Customs, thank you for your beer donations. I'm sure you're right, man. When do we get to see more of 2 Cents Senior? I'm tempted to do a video because people commented pretty well, like to pick some of the comments to get him to reply to. I'm tempted to do that. He'd be keen. A couple of guys challenged him to do like a Wallabies team or a Springboks team from his generation as well. He didn't seem as confident, but I mean, they're not his team, so it kind of makes sense. I miss Bucky's border, don't we all? How much do you think Peter de Villiers contributed to the South African team? You would hope to think he was a pretty big influence, right? Do you remember Dean and Kemp from the Broncos? Big Will. I hope he does, because I don't. Sent you a link on Twitter with the virtual World Cup on Super Brew. Okay, when does that kick off? Do I need to do that like ASAP? G-Man sent me a link as well. Is that your rugby cave room? No, this is just a lounge, man. This is definitely a shared space. Just that corner is mine. And when I'm doing the streams, I put something in the background. Good rugby. You're right, man. The pace of this game has been good. Right, I need to try some biltong. I got a fatty one and I got a spicy one. But it just looks like meat to me, so I got no idea which one is which. We aren't allowed to buy alcohol or cigarettes in South Africa under lockdown. I'm pretty sure you guys are the only ones who banned cigarettes, eh? I think cigarettes and alcohol were counted under the essential products here in New Zealand. Dad can do an all-time Auckland 15. That's true. He could. All right. I think this is the spicy biltong because it's covered in stuff, but give it a try. Certainly tastes meaty. I feel like it's going to go well with the beer. That's not a Springbok shirt. Dan Carter just kicked a penalty, and it's over. I was just saying, Liam, I got biltong, I got Castle Lager, I got those flags in the background. I'm watching this game. It's about as South African as it gets without putting a Springboks jersey on. Jacobs was a live wire. Could have had more caps. Started yesterday. Okay. Well, I think I'm too late for that. I might attempt to mark some bloke beer. Definitely ask at the post office first if they accept it. I mean, I can always ask or look on the website here at New Zealand Post. I feel like they don't take it. All right, I'm going to go a bit more biltong. Do your friends watch rugby as well? Not as many as you would think, man. It's kind of a sad state of affairs. Maybe partly because I live in Auckland as well. One of my mates is a big rugby league guy. One of them's not into sports at all. Some of them follow like the All Blacks, but nothing really at super level. So, sad state of affairs. Man, you miss biltong. They must have biltong available in Europe, right? All Sapphirs know this sentence because when you zol, you put saliva on the paper. I don't know what that means. That straight over my head. 11 minutes, 13 seconds in. New Zealand are up 6-0 with 2 penalties. It's been frantic. I haven't even really been talking about the game. They've just gone a long line out to Ricky January, and he's managed to, like over the back of the line out, he's managed to get it. South Africa could certainly use a score at this point. You can only send 1 liter of alcohol with 1 item in 1 package. Wow. So that means a 6-pack of beer wouldn't be kosher? There'll be riots over here if off licenses were shut down. I think that was the logic here as well. They didn't shut the liquor store. Well, they shut the liquor stores, but they allowed supermarkets and supermarkets to sell booze and cigarettes to still be sold. That's not nearly enough biltong. How much biltong are you supposed to have? If that's the spicy one, it's not very spicy. Maybe that's the fatty one. I'll try the other one. Smoked beef. Yeah, it's pretty much just like a smoked meat. It's just like a chewy, quite meaty taste. And it's that feeling when, at least, man, Percy Montgomery, Leonard Kick. When I've just swallowed it, it's kind of like Pringles. Like my brain is telling me, just get another one. Just get another one. Man, look how young like Franz Stein is there on the bench. Was that Ruan Pienaar as well? That's a hell of a Springbok team, man. It's loaded with some big guns. Biltong is available Zolik or smokeweed. Okay. Yeah, you can get biltong in the UK. Good. I'd never even heard of biltong, man. Holy moly, these pieces are massive. Look at the size of that. The one minister said that's why cigarettes are banned. So they made a remix of it. Okay. Is this a final? This one isn't a final? Okay. That's the spicy one. The other one is not the spicy one. This is just like the second match in like they play each other 3 times. Twice in New Zealand, 1 in South Africa back in those days, I think. When I was living in New Zealand years ago, not many workmates or friends watched rugby. It was mainly dads and mates that played rugby with a rugby man. Similar here, man. Oh, a bit of a head clash. Wow. Ali looks sick. If that's nowadays, he is straight off for an HIA. I'll be interested to see what happens here. 2008. They're going to let him run it off. Who's playing 8 for the Boks? I didn't even see the lineups, man. It might be PSBs. Our minister said you can't smoke weed because saliva used to roll spliff or spread corona. Ah. Oh, that's hilarious. Cigarettes in South Africa normally go for like New Zealand $30. $30 New Zealand, a carton. A carton? Jeez, that's like one packet over here is like $30. Is biltong just beef jerky? I'm not sure what the difference is between biltong and beef jerky. Maybe it's the way they cook it. It's expensive, man. I bought 100 grams of the fatty one and 100 grams of the spicy one, and it was like $7 per 100 grams. So I didn't get a lot. I got 200 grams, and it was like $14. The castle was like $20 plus $5 shipping. So for some snacks and beers, it's pricey. But I had to try it, man. Everyone's always talking to me about the beers and the biltong. Sivivatu's kick is not a great one. Unknown Junkie, hey man, how's it going? Big Will, never say that to a South African or Namibian. It's raw meat steaks that are spiced with coriander, salt, pepper, and vinegar that's hung to dry. Okay. None of my Aussie mates watch rugby, just league. There you go. I need to find some place that sells biltong and Oz. I could only find it online, man. I had to have this shipped to me because it was like a 2-3 hour drive to get it. I think there's other places that sell it that are closer, but this was the one that had the castle, so I bought it all in the same shop. 4 bottles by the end of the stream. I don't know about that. Wine selections in Kiwi supermarkets are tough for me here in West Isles, but I'll have a look at Syrah from Villa Maria or anything from Unison, but more expensive. Okay. Syrah from Villa Maria. I'll have a look. The only beer we have is pineapple beer. I think I mentioned before, they do pineapple beer in China, although you guys make your pineapple beer, right? Didn't smoke that much for quarantine, but stress got to me surviving on them at the moment. The opposite is true for me. Like when I'm at the office, I'm more tempted to smoke cigarettes than at home. I just don't go out. I got kids and my wife here, so. We have a South African shop near us home for the Saffers. There's a fair few South African shops here as well, man. Here you pay about New Zealand $28 for roughly 280 Rand for a case of 24 castles. Man, it must be the tax when they import it, because 6 bottles cost me, I think, $21 New Zealand. So I guess what's that, 200 something Rand? Ireland versus New Zealand 2018 next, maybe. I think next I'm going to need to do a game where New Zealand win, because I watched the Ireland New Zealand Chicago match on Wednesday morning my time. This match I don't think is going to end too well for the Kiwis, and yeah, I think I need to watch the Kiwis win. Had my first Stone Lager in years. Had to say it's tasting pretty bloody good. Cheers, man. Crack on. The castle is going down well. Dan Carter has kicked another one. I agree. Jerky is crap, says Chris. I don't really eat beef jerky, so I wouldn't know a difference. This spicy one is starting to grow on me. Initially, I preferred the other one, the fatty one, but the spicy one's all right too. Can you please post me a pack of six pack of Castle to Cape Town? When I've posted stuff to South Africa, it's taken months to get there. This guy Jordan, who used to edit my videos, first year I sent him a box of just New Zealand stuff. It took like 2 months. This time I sent him a Blues jersey, and I still don't know if he's got it. I haven't heard from him in ages. I like cherry beer from Belgium. Tastes like a wally. The castle's going down good, man. I'm enjoying it. But like I said, I'm not a connoisseur. Second Lions test against the Boks in 2009. That's a good idea. I think I might do that one soon. Who is this ref? I don't remember him. I'm new to the channel. Well, welcome, man. On the live streams, generally we watch the game on one screen and do the stream on the other. So the YouTube tracker for that one is at 21:25. Yeah, welcome along. The man, the myth, the legend, DC, indeed. Chili bites are great. Yeah, I went for the. Oh, my connection is unstable. It says my connection is unstable. Can you guys still hear? The warning has disappeared. Are you guys still good? Okay, good stuff. In South Africa, 20 grams is 200 grams is your tasters to see if you want some biltong. Holy moly, really? There's no way I'm going to get through 100 grams of these chili bites. Like, I like some spicy food, but I've had a couple of pieces, and that's... Anyway. I'm up to 1950 on the game clock. It is 9 points to 6. Stream did freeze for about 5 seconds. Okay. Good to know. We love to graze on biltong. Is this why South African build such big people? I don't know how long I can sit here and eat biltong for. Do you guys eat them like chips or something? How many penalties? Yeah, it is. It has been pretty brutal. The players want to play fast, but the ref wants to blow it quickly as well. I agree, man. There are a few legends on both teams, undoubtedly. And some guys in both these teams who never really made it past a handful of caps by the look of things. I was working in Brendale last year before heading overseas in November. I had to come back to Brisbane. A lot of work on the north side. Conrad Yankees on the bench for the Boxwater Sports, and believe he went on a football trial at Chelsea when he was a teenager. Holy moly. That's quite a story. Oh, all right, Tim. Back to work on Monday. That's a good news, though. Got to get back to work. Who's Rudy Wolf? He played, again, not many tests for the All Blacks, I think. I think he went to France. I think he still might be playing. Winger, I think, for the most part. Do the 1995 World Cup final. I did it already. And it was still painful. Yeah, man. The biltong is it's addictive. It's like once you pop, you can't stop. 200 grams is nothing. Seriously. I felt like those 200 grams could last me ages. This kind of stuff must cause like heart disease or something, right? Watching a game, I invariably have biltong will finish at the half time. In New Zealand, at a game, it's hot chips. I don't know about at a game in South Africa. You go into Eden Park, you see a queue a mile long. That one's for the toilet. That one's for the food. You get 2 very overpriced beers, and you get a punnet of like hot chips, maybe a hot dog. It costs you an arm and a leg, but you got to have the hot chips. Am I going to join the boys on Reddit? I don't know what's going on with my Reddit, man. I replied, but it doesn't show my replies. Is it because I don't have enough karma? Like, I'm a total newbie with Reddit, man. I made an account like a year ago, but I never used it. Wing and center for the Blues, yeah. Hey, Bradley. Biltong with garlic dip. Okay. It's 9 apiece. Game clock's at 24:05 for anyone just joining in. Name wasn't familiar. Yeah, he didn't play many tests for the All Blacks, man. It would have only been a handful. Do you agree that New Zealand and South Africa are the best teams in history? Well, they've won the most World Cups, if that's a measuring stick. Only thing biltong causes is family feuds to see who gets the last piece. Man, you guys are really passionate about your biltong. I'm glad I got some. I feel like I understand South Africans a little bit better now, having had some castle and some biltong. It's South Africa. In South Africa, it's castle and biltong at a rugby game. So I'm more or less in South Africa. Dan Carter has just kicked another penalty. It's 12-9. It's all penalties so far. More trivia in the chat. Rudy Wolf broke his neck diving into a pool when he was a teenager. Wow. I did not know that. I think I'm drinking beer faster because of the biltong. Have you watched the interview with Squidge and Gaminara? I saw the part where he said, like, how's things in Argentina? That was a bit of a crack up. He asked him how many times he'd watched that game. commented about his speech and whatnot. I think I saw on the World Rugby Twitter feed, I saw that bit. Man, look at Bismarck. God, he's huge. I remember Springboks from 07-10 being pretty formidable. Indeed, man. A good team. Apparently 50 million pints worth of beer is going to be dumped in the UK from pubs. I think I read something about that. No, you just need a bri. For sake of argument, let's say crowds not allowed back by the next rugby championship. Oh, man, that'd be tragic. Let's just hope that doesn't happen, man. One down. I swear, I usually nurse the beers a bit longer than that. Maybe the biltong encourages beer drinking. I read Pichot is out of World Rugby. Yeah, he called it quits. What is with all the quick taps in this game? These guys must have had a bet before the game to see if they could break the record for a number of quick taps. It's ridiculous. Strange how you struggle drinking 8 glasses of water, but a case of beer is no problem. True enough. Bismarck is a beast, indeed. I think I'm drinking beer faster because of the biltong. He is now Afrikaans. Okay. Is that how that works? Unknown junkie beer, biltong, and a bri. I'll have to have a proper South African bri one of these days when I get over to South Africa. Another quick tap, and then January knocked it on. Oh, my God. It's getting crazy. Why do they keep doing it? Was that just 2008? Everyone just wanted to play at absolute pace, but that's embarrassing. You must try Boer Wars. They had some at the shop I bought the biltong from. I haven't tried them. Ali Williams has gone off, which is probably a good thing, seeing as he smashed his head earlier. Yeah, South Africa all the way. The biltong is making you thirsty. I really think it's doing that. Smashed that first one. I know, man. What is up with this? Biltong does not cause heart disease. It causes massive rugby players. There you go. You should come down to South Africa with the ABs. Let us teach you some of the cultures. Oh, it's on the list, man. It's definitely on the list. Just got to save up some money. January butchered it. Yeah, man, you're not kidding. Maybe he should be making biltong instead of taking quick taps like that. We even give biltong to teething babies. Now you're yanking my crank. Come on. That can't be right. Was that another high shot on Carter? Maybe not. Don't worry, January makes up for that knock on. Yeah, we'll see how things finish. I had biltong during my teething. My dad refused to let me chew on a piece of rubber. Are you serious? That's mental. Time of the game clock, 29:46. free kicks were used around instead of penalties, I think, in some of the breakdown laws. True. It's just easier to tap and get on with it rather than kick it out and give the opposition back the ball. Can you beat a Kiwi hangi or a broil up, in my opinion? Keep your biltong. A hangi or a broil up is pretty good. I got them up. I've only had proper hangi a couple of times. You ready for Bodie to be in blue? Boy, am I ready. It'll be interesting to see what kind of match fitness Bodie's in, that's all. Haven't had a hangi in yonks. Yeah, true. Coming to South Africa for the British and Irish Lions tour. Oh, man, tickets for that thing will be very hard to come by. We even give biltong to our teething babies. It's true. No wonder these guys are enormous. Just imagining baby buckies sucking on some biltong. But not sliced biltong. Second beer before the second half. I know, right? What is this biltong doing to me? It's only been half an hour. Oh, it's Van Niekerk at number 8. Is that a try? De Villiers has got like a cricket-style vest, sweater vest. Another high shot on Carter. Even in 2020, the man is untouchable. It was slightly high. Well, that was a heck of a high shot on Peterson there going for the try. But I guess in 2008, that was more doable. I was literally raised with biltong and mealpap. I don't know what the second one is. Okay, try time. JP Peterson that's only his second try ever. Wow. He's going to go places, that kid. What is a hangi? Hangi is a Māori way of cooking food in kind of like a fire pit. So I don't even know the technique, but I guess like hot embers in the ground, food on top, covered and then uncovered. It takes a while to cook, but man, is it good. Can't wait for Bodie to pull on that Sacred Blues jersey. Hopefully he is successful in it, brother. Love your show. Imagine Richie and Skulk in the same team. That's true. Two legends of their countries. A salty biltong. Mean jersey. I know, man. It was given to me. I'm pretty fortunate. 4 pass. Love a good hangi, says Isaac. Indeed, man. Like I said, I've only had a couple in my life. A handful anyway, but always so good. Slightly forward. You're not allowed to tackle DC. Well, we found that out. Bismarck found that out the hard way. That was, even when I watched that one live, I said, that's ridiculous. That was just pathetic, that one. South Africans, we are now blowing Mark's mind. You have seen South Africans in full force on the channel. Yeah. Biltong for babies. Yeah. Yellow card for that tackle on Peterson. Nowadays, that's a yellow card all day long. Carter with a drop kick attempt. That's well wide. Hot rocks in a hungy. There you go. Meal pup is ground corn made into porridge. Is that like a breakfast thing? Serve cold or hot? I guess hot. Heard the Argentinians know how to barbie. I have also heard the same. I heard they do a pretty good steak as well. I think that's going to be the sell. If I do convince the missus to do a bit of traveling, will be to leave the kids with the grandparents, step one, and use the food as a selling point, step two. That's the plan. Oh, what? I want to see a replay of that. Montgomery just put a huge bit of boot to leather, and Sivivatu stepped out when taking the ball. What's the calorie count? Pretty high. Gutted the autumn tests have been cancelled for Scotland. We're going to get to beat New Zealand twice and New Zealand for the first time. I'm just disappointed Scotland aren't coming, man. I mean, they say postponed rather than cancelled, but it's been 20 years since Scotland have been here. And it was only going to be one game anyway, but that's... Yeah, it's... I mean, it is what it is, man. We can't travel at the minute. That's just the thing. Meal pepper is mostly served for breakfast, but sometimes we make it at a braai. Like to balance out the meat? They're going to TMO for the drop kick, whether it went over or not. Ma tackled DC hard and got penalised. Andrew Hoare says, "Aren't we allowed to tackle Dan Carter?" I remember that. That's on YouTube. That one's on YouTube. Most rugby union games are boring these days. Start, stop, video, ref, repeat. I have to admit, since watching the 87, the 91, the 95 games, they are played at a hell of a quicker pace than the one these days. Part of the reason the guys these days can be so much bigger, aside from the fact that they train more and whatnot, is they get more time to stand around and catch their breath. So you can be a physically bigger specimen. That kick went over. Butch James. South Africans are slowly turning 2 cents into one of us. Slowly? I don't know about slowly. Seems to be happening at a rate of knots, man. Meal peppers, breakfast, lunch, and supper, depending on what you have it with. Okay. Anytime then. I'm actually going to South Africa next year for 2 weeks with the boys from the rugby team back from school. Really excited. Awesome, man. Do you know which cities? Pick a back three. Mapimpi, Colby, Habana, Percy, LaRue, and Corsi. Ooh. Colby, Habana, and Percy. Liam agrees with me. Or I agree with him. So does Chris. Apparently that was an easy choice. What's up, Martino? The game clock is at 37:40, if you're joining in. The Boks are ahead 17-12. There's only been one try in the game, though. The ref's whistle has been getting absolutely hammered in this game. I think we're splitting 1 week around Joburg, other week around Cape Town. Makes sense. So the mini tourney will all 5 major teams will the ITM Cup start as well. I think they are doing a shortened version of the ITM Cup or the Mitre 10 Cup after the Super Rugby Aotearoa comp. So yeah, it will be, but it'll be a shorter version and after, from what I've read. How has Joe Marchant looked for you so far? Yeah, man, he's looked pretty good. From memory, they've played him in the midfield and on the wing. Percy has just pushed that kick wide. Oh, my Lord, look at Scott Brits on the bench. Holy cow, he looks so young, but I guess it was a lot of years ago. I think he's only staying until the 1st of July, Joe Marchant. Then he's back off to the UK. So if he can get a flight. I see Colby, Percy, and Habana. Exact same as you. Okay. This was actually one of the first game rugby I've ever seen. Wow. It's a classic one, man. It ends up finishing pretty close. June 13. Hard to enjoy this one. It's just a jumble of penalties. I'm not sure if it's the ref or if it's the way the rules were back at that time. But yeah, it's been less than fluid, man. That's for sure. Plus, it's not in HD. It's 480p. Looks like my midweek drinking is going to have to stop now. Tim's back to work. My work's never stopped, man. I know that's not something I should be complaining about. I should be happy because some people lost their jobs. But next week, my kids are back to daycare. Yes. Back to daycare. I mean, I got to drive into the city because they go to a daycare near where I work, and I don't live particularly close to where I work. But oh well, the commute is going to be worth it to have freedom in the house. My wife is also very excited. What started as "isn't it great to spend more time with the children" has become, thank goodness they're going back to daycare. Barrett to play for the Blues or still on sabbatical? Back to play for the Blues, brother. Well, to start playing with the Blues, I guess. Not the best first half. Yeah, putting it mildly, man. Sometimes you can appreciate a game where it's brutal and it's penalties, but this one, I think the ref has been the star of the show, which is not the best. Skulk Brits, Dane Coles are my favorite dynamic hookers. Love the fact that he played number 8 in the World Cup. I know, man. Skulk Brits is just always such a happy guy, man. When do you ever see that guy without a smile on his face? I think even when he was punching Akavanda Merva that time in Super Rugby, he was still pretty pleased with himself. Brits was playing then. I guess Brits was playing. How did they only end up with 15 caps again? He went to England, I guess. Everyone else is back on the 5th of June. I guess that's only a couple of weeks away. If you guys are going back to work, man, it sounds like things in the UK are settling down, which is good news as well. Here we didn't have any new cases today. We had 1 new case yesterday, and then the previous 2 days before that, there were no new cases. So it's really settled down here. But when you're a small country, which is an island, that kind of makes it a bit easier, I think. No, I'm watching all the old games. I noticed the refs got so much tougher on high tackles. It's a wee bit ridiculous nowadays. Yeah. They are very, very strict on high tackles today. We mentioned earlier one of the high tackles would have been a yellow card in today's game, maybe even a couple of them. My wife's a teacher, and thankfully she kept working. Have you been at home while she's working or what? Half time, by the way. The guys are heading into the sheds. That was tiddlywink stuff. They didn't deserve a penalty. Yeah, this game, the ref has been very, very active. Like he's getting paid every time he blows his whistle. Alternating between the spicy and the non-spicy biltong, by the way. Well, Barrett started at 10 and Perifetta 15. Black was looking decent this season. I wouldn't be surprised if for the first game they go Black at 10, Perifetta 15, Barrett on the bench. Because Leon McDonald has already said, he's the coach. Second half has just kicked off, by the way. He's already said that he's not sure what condition Bodie will be back in. So he's not like putting huge expectations on him, saying he might be behind some of the other guys in terms of his fitness. Yeah. We laid off 450 people. Holy moly. Yeah, our work, they didn't technically lay anybody off, but a lot of people had casual contracts. Oh, there's Leon McDonald, speaking of the devil, back when he was a player instead of a coach. They let go pretty much all the casuals. And because our place is still working from home, some people who can't do their jobs from home, like receptionists and stuff, have been reassigned some of the jobs that the casuals used to do. Sivi Vatu's off. He didn't have his best game. Putting it bluntly. Bit of a scrappy first half, I reckon. I reckon so too. More than 236 confirmed cases of coronavirus in UK. Almost 34,000 lost their lives. Wow. I think we're at about 1,400 cases and I think 21 deaths. And most of those are from one rest home, which got the virus going through it. So, Read something yesterday. It seems the COVID-19 is panning out like the 2015. I read that same one, man. It was like New Zealand are going to come out on top. Something about England being out early. Yeah, I'm a man of leisure. Man, you lucky sod. What are you doing with all your leisure time in lockdown? Learning a new instrument or learning a language? Getting in shape at home? 384 new cases yesterday. 384 new cases. I guess for a country the size of the UK, I don't know if that's that many. I don't know. I know we were in the hundreds for a while. We were like 150 a day for a while. And we've only got a small population. Same as my uni that I study at, they've let go of a lot of casual staff. Yeah, those are the first ones to go, man. They're trying to protect all the permanent and fixed term people, I think. Oh, man. South African defense is up like a flash. I wouldn't be too fussed if Bodie comes back off the bench when he comes back, but then he'll have to be a first choice 10 within 2 to 3 games. Yeah. I think Leon may do that because if you start him, then all the game becomes about him. But if you start him from the bench, the story is less about Bowden. So I wouldn't be surprised if he does that. Is it true that All Blacks are thinking of a third All Black chant? Probably, man. We've got black, 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 and we've got all blacks, all blacks. When I was a kid growing up, there was only one chant each team had. So before Super Rugby, if it was Auckland against Wellington, there'd be one guy who would. Oh, no, actually, there's two chants. There'd be one guy just going, Auckland. And then another guy would do the same thing with Wellington. Wellington. That was pretty much it. And then sometimes if they were annoying my dad, he would just yell the name of a team that wasn't playing. Canterbury. And then everyone would be like, what the hell? And they would stop chanting. That's when I thought my dad was a legit genius. New Zealand only has 50 active cases. Speaking of which, how's freedom now that you guys are off lockdown? We are still technically in lockdown, just a lowered level. So, like, you're allowed to go to a restaurant, but they're not allowed to put tables next to each other. There's got to be a gap. And, like, if you go on the bus, it's got to be, like, seat, empty seat, that kind of thing. But, yeah, I mean, when I went outside today with my kids and whatnot, it just looks like normal, except that they're doing, like, controlled entry into shops and you got to sign in when you go anywhere. But, yeah, it's all right, man. I got biltong and Castle Lager, man. I can't complain. I'm watching rugby. Spanish and training. Okay, nice. Spanish is a useful one to learn. Lots of speakers. Would you have Ocean Black at 10 and Bodie at 15? Ideally, you get Bodie at 10, I think. But I feel sorry for Ocean Black. Because he left the Hurricanes to get away from having to play behind Bowden. Bodie's a 10 all day. Yeah, I reckon so. Are you enjoying the South African way of watching rugby? I thought I was going to prefer the chili bites to like the fat biltong. Like the fat. What was it called? Like the biltong steaks with fat. But I think I prefer the fatty one. A bit unexpected. Franz Staines just come on. Looking very young. Who's the quickest AB? I'm not actually sure. I know Bodie's got a lot of acceleration, but for out and out pace, I'm not sure. Ulster has stand up for the Ulstermen and simply chanting Ulster. That's still better than just Auckland, 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 Auckland. We don't even do that anymore because Auckland is Mitre 10 Cup and we don't get enough fans to even get a chant going. If you're watching the All Blacks, it's All Blacks, All Blacks. Or the alternative, black, 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 black. It'd be nice if we had some songs and stuff, but we don't do it. We're not a singing people for our rugby games. I think the second half has been better than the first. Although we're only 8 minutes in. And as I say that, there's a big Malay on the ground and South Africa just got a turnover. Hi, Adam. Game clock is at 48:20. Haven't seen much of Otsede Black. He was looking all right, man. He was actually looking all right. I'll feel sorry for him if he goes behind. I'm supposed to be on holiday traveling in southern US states in August. I hope you bought your insurance before COVID. The fatty biltong is always tasty. I'm inclined to agree. I think if I had to go with one, it'd be that one. Average at best, Big Will. Come on, said Kiwi. He was doing all right. He was doing all right. He's not as dynamic as Bodie, put it that way, I guess. I heard Rico Ioane is the fastest AB, but I've seen Bodie burn him in Super Rugby. I think Bodie is quicker off the mark, but I'm not sure about like top speed. What I should have done actually, because a while back I got to go into the Blues training center, their gym, and they have all their records down on a board. They've got like bench press, squats, like 100 meters, all those like 40 meters, and they've got all the record holders. And they're not like just this year as well. They're all time. Like Jerome Kino still got some records there and stuff. So I should have taken a photo of that to see who had the fastest. I mean, I know it'd be only Blues, but it'd be interesting to see who's quicker, Bodie or Rico. Good old Fields of Athenry, true. For Ireland. When I'm back in Edinburgh and watch games at Murrayfield, I assume it's the same feeling as watching the Blues at Eden Park. Not many people in a huge stadium. Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure. I seem to remember Eden Park used to get more people at it for like before Super Rugby. It used to get more fans to it, like for Auckland and whatnot. And then Super Rugby early years were pretty well attended, but it's hard to trust your childhood memory. It's not when you're a Bath fan sitting next to the Ulster guys and they are winning. Either Shawshaloza. I've not heard that one in the crowd. Or clap, 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 clap. Look, okay. That's similar level to the All Blacks chanting, I think. I can run 100 meters in 52 minutes. With a beer in hand, I'm sure, man. James's kick hasn't really gone anywhere. Liam McDonald puts in an up and under. Oh, Matt Field got it. Andreas Becker, yeah, he was enormous. How tall was he? Was he taller than Devon Toner, or was he about the same height? Do you think Julian Savia is off to the Highlanders? They've just signed Nihi Milner-Skudder to a 2-year contract, so I hope not, because as much as I love Julian Savia, I do think he's past his best. I remember his last year in Super Rugby, keeping an eye on his stats in a pretty good Hurricanes team, and they were bad. They were really bad. He didn't have the pace or seemingly the power to beat a man that he used to have. College rugby in New Zealand has more chanting than All Black game. I'm not sure why that is, I'm not sure why we're not a nation that really sings songs and really gets enthusiastically behind the team. We're quite polite in the scheme of things. Like, my dad, not so much these days because he's mellowed out a bit, but back in the day, he used to so close to a try, but couldn't quite get there. Rudy Wolf. My dad used to scream at the ref, and people would look at him like, oh, you can't say that. Be nice. So, yeah. We're quite polite at rugby games for some reason. Julian Savea isn't a Super Rugby. I wouldn't take him to my under 12 side. He certainly wasn't when he left, man. Yeah. Andreas Becker is a whole 10 centimeters taller than me. Is he? How tall is he? How tall is Devin Toner? And how tall is Andreas Becker? Andreas Becker is 2.08 meters. Good Lord, that's massive. Julian should go to the Warriors. Yeah, maybe. That'd be a better fit. Artie's talked about wanting to go to league, so... Right, I'm 2 castles down. I'm slowing down, but I've got 1 castle left. Hymns and Arias is the main Welsh chant. Okay. Do you think Foster can get the World Cup for New Zealand? It's hard to say at the minute, man. I want to see what his All Black side can do first. We haven't even seen them play a game yet, so I guess we'll give it a bit of time. I feel like any coach, even half worth their salt, should be able to do a pretty decent job with the All Blacks. Generally, you've got a fair bit of talent there, so... Do you think the other Barrett boys going to be under Bodie's spotlight for very much longer? Generally, locks, I don't think get that much spotlight, but maybe Geordie. Okay. This game is actually starting to get a bit interesting. I feel like we haven't talked about the game much this game. What a try. That was like proper 10 phases, offloads. This game finally came alive. I mean, Peterson's try was pretty good as well, but that one from Malaki, proper stuff. Should see how polite and reserved you Kiwis are in the nightclub in Cardiff after what you've done to us. I can't speak for the nightclub, but I know at the game we're generally pretty quiet. Rugby in New Zealand and Australia has always been that kind of clap and cheer types of game. At schoolboy level, they chant and sing. Different atmosphere, eh? On fire with the beers. Number 3, underway. Cheers, everybody. Julian said during the week he wants to come home and either play league or union. I think he would suit the league, but he would be a bad signing for a Super Rugby team. I agree, man. He's not set the world on fire in France. And his last season for the Canes, he was a weak link. So any Super Rugby team, I think, would be kind of mad to sign him. Unless they think they've got some special way of using him, or they think he's going to put bums on seats because he's a big name, but you're not allowed to have any fans at the moment anyway, so yeah. surprised I'm not wearing a Bok jersey. The reason I'm not wearing the Bok jersey is because I got biltong. I got Castle Lager. I'm watching this game, and I got that in the background. That's already like 4/5 Springbok, 4/5 South African. So I had to keep a bit of Kiwi essence, I guess. Best thing I've heard. It is an Ashes cricket game, English belt out songs and mocking songs. They're quite funny. Well, the thing about cricket is you've got a lot more time to get beers into you than at a rugby game. You got the whole day. Get that man a drink. The Lions have lost Malcolm Marx, Tyrone Green. There were like 3 other players as well. I saw that news. I'm pretty sad. I had my suspicions about Malcolm Marx, man. I know he's doing a sabbatical in Japan, but it's a bit sad. Seeing only a few weeks ago, he was in the news saying that he was missing having a braai and stuff. Anyway, it is what it is. He must be loving these Castle Lagers. Number 3. Maybe I should get some more, man. I don't know. I'm still going to have to find those Great Northerns. They don't sell them at my local. I'll have a look online. My Wi-Fi cut out, so I can't watch the game anymore, but I'm using data for the stream. Don't waste all your data on the stream, man. If you got to go, you got to go. The stream will be here tomorrow. I'm not going to take it down. Unless I do something really embarrassing, but... I like flying fish pressed lemon. Even the apple one tastes nice. What is that? Bismarck down the wing. He didn't. Oh. Must be warm. Nah, man, I had ice in the pack, man. I come prepared these days. It's cold. I can't stand cricket, to be honest. But it's miles better than baseball, which I had to watch in America when I was there for a month. The game made me want to headbutt a wall to stay awake. I watch cricket every now and again, but not that often. That's all right. Do you find people watch the streams after they finish? Not much. Not much, but I'll get the odd comment every now and again. Somebody watches it, so... Flying fish is also a beer, but with flavor. Okay. Great Northern is overrated. Just another Aussie lager. Shots fired. I believe shots have been fired. I understand the money aspect, but playing for Japan will not be good for Marx's career. Didn't Fora du Preez play pretty well, even though he was based in Japan for a long time? I know he's a 9, and that's a bit of a different story from a hooker, but yeah. How do you think Super Rugby Aotearoa will go? I think the Crusaders at the top and the Highlanders at the bottom for sure. I am excited, although the games are early for me in the UK. Oh, I'm hoping the Blues can maintain some of that form. The Crusaders have got Sam Whitelock back. Oh, Percy's mishit that one to the right. Maybe the Chiefs, but even the Chiefs looked a bit inconsistent. They dropped a couple of games. I am on Bavaria non-alcoholic beer at the moment. Nothing else left in the house. Sorry to hear that, man. You have a lot of data. Okay, good man. It's always a close test in Dunedin when New Zealand plays South Africa. Yeah, this stadium isn't even there anymore. Meat is on the braai. Sup, though? Well, I got the Castle Lager. I got Biltong. So kind of happy days. In his prime, Bismarck was fast. Indeed. VB is the most overrated beer in Australia. VB you can get in New Zealand pretty easily. It's really common. Great Northern is the nectar of the gods, the honey to the bee, and the cat's meow. Like I said, shots fired before. For a 9, you can still focus on the tactical. Physically, it's not going to be as good for marks. Rather see him go to Sale than to Japan. Although, was that a high shot on Habana? James Haskell, former England international, was in the news the other day because a few of the English guys have signed to go over to Japan. He said, you may think, like, I'm misquoting him, but he said, you may think you're going over to Japan for like a rest and to earn some easy money, but you forget a lot of Pacific Island guys play in Japan. So he said 1 minute, he said he thought he was going to be like Godzilla over there. And then the next minute he's getting put on his ass by a 125 kg Tongan player or something like that. So, I don't know. Percy was my favorite South African player of all time. At the time. Good player for sure, man. And in Rugby 08, boy, was he good. Great Northern is a good Queensland beer. Have you got a review of the beer in the biltong? Well, the fatty steak biltong, which they finally sliced for me, I'm quite enjoying. The chili bites, which I ordered extra hot because I quite like spicy food. They're not doing it as much for me. They're okay. I'll give them a 6. I'll give the fatty biltong like a 9. This stuff's really addictive. And the Castle Lager is going down pretty sweet, so I'll give it an 8.5. What can I say? I thought my favorite was going to be the chili bites, but it ended up not being that way. You need the meat pie on the stream next time. That's the ultimate New Zealand, or I guess Australian as well, the old meat pie. Butch James is getting kicked a penalty. He's taken over the boot. It's interesting as well. I'm not sure what it's like in the countries you guys live in, but you go to a convenience store, dairy, which is what we call it here in New Zealand. You want a hot snack. It's basically a meat pie. Mince and cheese, steak and cheese. It's a meat pie. In China, it's like a steamed bun. Not quite the same. I'm not sure what it is in the rest of the world. What is that hot food you get at 2 a.m. after you stumble out of the bar? Fastest feet in the game. That Andrew Ford does a few good videos on comparisons of that kind of thing, right? Haskell is very complimentary about Japan. Well, he had an interesting career, man. He wanted to try a bit of rugby everywhere, eh? So it's good that he got around. Cornish pastry and a cider. Meat pie or a sausage roll. Yeah. Always blow on the pie. Yep. It's a quote here in New Zealand. What made me move to China? Um, I think mainly a lot of Kiwis want to go overseas when they get into their early 20s. And my brother had already gone to Europe, and I didn't want to be like my brother. So I went to China. Like, it doesn't get much different from New Zealand. New Zealand's small, low population, no massive metropolis cities, you know what I mean? But wow, Carter with that bullet drop kick. It's looking all New Zealand at the minute. 25-20. Surely this is going to end well. But yeah, that's why I went to China. I didn't earn much because the currency doesn't translate very well into New Zealand dollars. But I met heaps of Aussies, a handful of Kiwis, some South Africans, Canadians, not that many Americans, but a few. So, and heaps of Chinese people. So, yeah, no, it was good. Good to see something a bit different from what you're used to. Because, like I said, it doesn't get much different from New Zealand and China. Nothing wrong with New Zealand lager. I don't even know if I've ever tried New Zealand lager. Does that only come in a can? Pretty sure. I don't trust the meat in a sausage roll, to be honest. Well, any sausage meat, man, can be a bit dodgy. What about 4X? It's like saying we all drink tea up here. Can travel around Asia from China easily. You can actually, but I spent most of my time in China traveling around other parts of China because China's pretty big. Like I was in Wuhan, which is now a world famous place because of that virus. But I was there for 7 years, and I just like did trips to Beijing up north where it's cold, to Xi'an where the Terracotta Warriors are. I went to Shanghai, which is a big city. I went to Hainan, which, believe it or not, is like a beautiful tropical island, kind of like Hawaii. It's weird to think about a tropical beach place like that in China, but it's true. Heaps of Russians there, which is a bit random. But yeah, it was good. Something a bit different. New Zealand lager isn't that great, to be honest. When New Zealand get a drop goal, it's a genius tactical play, but any other nation, it's boring and anti-rugby. Interestingly, after we lost to South Africa down in Wellington in, was it 2018? The New Zealand media and the public got very critical of the All Blacks and the fact that we didn't look to be able to kick drop goals. So it kind of went full circle. And then the next campaign, we saw Bodie kicking droppies. Man, Butch James has just kicked a killer penalty, 25-23 after 68. Akias name him is Godzilla in Japan. He's a big boy. Are you fussy about drinking beer from a can? No. I'm fussy about very little, man. I will, for the most part, try any food, try any drink, can, bottle, glass. Yeah, I'm not fussy at all. NZ lager comes in small and big bottles. Good to know. I'll have to get some. Do you speak Mandarin? Yeah, I speak it pretty well. I can certainly get by. Like, order food, have a conversation with a taxi driver, talk about where I'm from. I can't talk about stuff like politics or science or anything like where the vocab gets quite technical, but yeah, I can have an everyday conversation for sure. "69 minutes, 35 seconds on the game clock. The All Blacks are camped in the box 22. Can they score? Oh, maybe just in touch. Just in touch." After the 2018 game, Bodie had at least 3 drop goal attempts in the next 5 games. Exactly right. It was a clear reaction, wasn't it? I just thought I'm going to miss out on the Wednesday live streams now. I think once lockdown gets over and the rugby gets back underway, the live streams may just switch back to actual game day live streams. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes, man. What a try saver. You're not kidding. That was a key moment. Key tackle in the corner. All right, I think I need to lay off the biltong. I'm still going. Go over there, out of my reach. I'm pretty sure it's not a good idea to go to bed with a stomach full of freshly eaten dried meat, right? Could be wrong. The name of the channel will soon change to Two Cents Rugby. What is the cents in rand? Like 1 rand. What's half a rand? What's the cents? Not many people think Chinese is a. Not many people think Chinese is a language. It's not. I guess it's kind of a family of languages, right? Like there's lots of languages that would fall under the Chinese umbrella, like Mandarin, Cantonese, all the others. Jonathan, I'm sorry I'm late. Started work again today. Glad you started work again, man. That's good news. Means things are going good. The fatty steak biltong, I'm a big fan. The chili bites, despite the fact that I quite like hot food. Like, okay, not so fast. I wouldn't get it again, but I would get the fatty sliced one again, definitely. I'm not sure about like $8 for 100 grams, but hey, it's a treat every now and again, right? Just discovered how addictive biltong can be. Yeah, man, I just keep chowing down without even thinking about it. It becomes like an unconscious thing. How can you guys still have Castle Lager? I don't know, man. Maybe they just had stock. Don't know. But I'm enjoying the Castle Lager. I told my dad I got some Castle Lager, and he's like, "Can I have one?" Okay. I'll give you some Castle Lager, Dad. You will have to put the Bath flag somewhere in the shot on Wednesday, so I'll be there in spirit. I have switched the flags up a little bit, but the Bath flags did get a fair few comments. It is true. There's a lot of Bath fans lurking out there. Half a rand is 50 cents. So it's also cents. So 1 rand is 100 cents. Oh, Matt Field's getting yellow carded. Surely that's it for the South Africans. 25, 23, less than 10 minutes to go. your captain chucked in the bin. Surely he has just cost his team the game. It looks like you missed the stream. There's still a little bit of time left, man. Oh, it's a high shot on Lowaki. Victor has just been yellow carded. There's not long to go. Less than 10 minutes. Just plaster the wall and Ulster flags. I do have a big old Ulster flag somewhere. I'll put it up for the next Ireland game. Who's this ref? Yeah, he's been pretty shocking, to be honest. Like, there's been a lot of high tackles in this game. Why that one's the one that gets carded, I don't know. And it's been both sides. All right, surely that's curtains for the Springboks. 28-23. That's got to be game over. Man down. Less than 10 minutes to play. 73-44 on the clock. It's got to be it. Did you know that Berger actually died? I did know. I heard that story. He died on the operating table and they managed to restart his heart, right? That one was crazy. Paint your whole room blue like a true Blues fan. If they win Super Rugby, maybe. It's not over yet, fellas. Keep an eye on January. Carter used to rack up those points. Boy, did he. Oh, look at him go. That's kind of reminiscent of Herschel Yankees, isn't it? Bit of individual brilliance. Some proper gas. Like Murray Mixted just said, proper. His full name's Enrico. I didn't know that. I always just heard him called Ricky. Dummy. What a dummy. Little chip. Chase. Regather. What a try. That is bloody magic, that one. What a try. What a try. Just woke. What did I miss? Ricky January just got a try after Victor got put in the bin. Did that just happen? Yeah, apparently it did. We got our third kicker. Butch James has taken a few. Percy's taken some, and now it's Francois Steyn with the hairdo. The crowd is booing. Cool as a cucumber. Bit of bend on it, but man. 28 points for the All Blacks, 30 to the box. What a pressure kick. I remember this try. I remember swearing and yelling. Yeah, it didn't seem like it was going to happen after that yellow card. The momentum was all supposed to be with the All Blacks, right? I give that try to Brits, though. He just came on in the box, scored the winner. Give it to him. Drop kick from Carter, surely. No. Franz Steyn almost took a plane down with that kick. You're not kidding. That ball was hit aggressively. That is for sure. Herschel Yankees is going to be a huge name soon. The boy is very talented, man. Very, very talented. Like, as much as Faf de Klerk is huge on defense, Herschel is such a dangerous player with the ball in hand. At least he went for a drop goal. Indeed. It was the right moment for it, but just the execution wasn't there. Nonu, surely. Gets back up. No. What a tackle. Holy moly. Who was that? I don't think they're going to go back and replay that, but that was body on the line stuff. Is this the game where it wasn't one of Rodney's best? Nah, he hasn't been at his best. The refs talked to him a couple of times, but the refs been a quite bit of a pain. Carter has attempted more drop goals in this game than the box under Rassi, I swear. Might be right, man. I want to see that other tackle. They're not going to show it. I always remember this game and the Lions AB's second test in Wellington, 2005. DC played his second greatest game. His greatest game was 15 World Cup final. Yeah, in 2005, he was pretty much taking the mantle away as the best 10, wasn't he? Free kicks kind of got phased out, it seems. Yeah. They had a ton of free kicks in this game, but maybe more in the first half, eh? There's only a minute to go. The Boxer got the ball. JP Peterson, we haven't seen much of him in the second half, and he's just kicked it out on the full. Horrible moment. Maybe he's just given up the game. He's given All Blacks a chance. How's the final? Oh, good, man. My kids are back to daycare on Monday. I am a happy man. Oh, the All Blacks did well to get that lineup ball. It wasn't clean. They've just put the hooter on, although there's still 15 seconds on the clock. I miss the days of random numbers in the lineup. Yeah, true. That doesn't seem to be a thing anymore. Will the All Blacks come back and steal this at the death? Dan Carter looks frustrated. Surely he's going to have one last. He's back in the pocket. Well, the Box saw that coming. And that's game. And that is game. Look at the celebrations on those guys. And that's the Castle Lager done. And that's the end of that clip. That was a no frills clip from kickoff to conclusion. That was it. Yeah. Why play this game? Yeah. Well, it was mainly because I had Castle Lager and Biltong in the fridge, so I was like, I better do something for South Africans. So I put that game on. So yeah, no more All Blacks losses for a while. I think. I think I'll need to do something a bit more positive or a bit neutral. Maybe I'll play something a bit different. So yes, I did try Biltong on the stream. My conclusion was the fatty steak one, very good. The chili bites, I wasn't as much of a fan of. I do like spicy food. Didn't go as well. It's all right, but I probably wouldn't get it again. Next live stream will still be Wednesday, same time as this one. So it'll be 9 o'clock New Zealand time. So evening in Australia, morning in South Africa, Europe, and sleep time for those in the Americas. But yeah, I'll think of an interesting one to watch. Maybe nothing New Zealand for a bit. I'll give the All Blacks a break. But yeah, it was a strange sort of game, Elleron. It was close, good, dramatic finish, but very messy in that first half. Wasn't pretty at all. So yeah, England v Wales 2015 could do some sevens. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah. Anyway, this stream, if nothing else, maybe want a barrel full of biltong right about now. I gotta say, after a bit of biltong and some castle, I'm not complaining. That was some pretty addictive stuff. But yeah, no England, says Minas. All right, we'll have a look. We'll have a look. Take care, guys. I will see you for the next one. Have a good day, good evening, wherever you're at. And yeah, I'll see you again soon. See you guys. Take care.